protect each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
YouTube. At this time, they are doing a re-sentencing or a new sentencing hearing. They are trying to get him in there as quickly as possible, pretty much. I don't know what's going on, but they are trying to, maybe Diddy's lawyers is pushing for something, knowing that the longer that he sit, the feds might, hit him with something, right? So maybe they pushing for a sooner hearing. Um, hmm, hmm. And are they? Is this a distraction, guys? Is this a distraction? I, I want to ask y'all: is this a distraction? Isn't it ironic that at this same moment that they're doing this whole Diddy hearing thing, new Diddy hearing, at this same exact moment, the president is signing a piece of paper accepting Putin's offer to US to ditch Zelensky. I gotta look into that one when this live is over with, because man, oh man, is there a lot of stuff happening in this world today. There's for sure a lot of stuff happening right now. I mean, to push for a sentencing hearing, a quicker hearing, a quicker sentencing hearing, however you want to look at it, that's crazy within itself, when you think about it. And my question is, could it be around this whole Mann Act thing? Could it be surrounded around this whole Mann Act thing? Because I don't think I really seen anything like this. I mean, it has to be Diddy's lawyers that are pushing to get a sentencing hearing, because why else? It doesn't benefit nobody else but the lawyers right now to get in there and get a sentence. The more time the judge got, the more time they got to probably file new charges. That whole Santana thing is going on right now, where they saying that Diddy might have passed on, something to one of the workers, and now a bunch of other stuff is coming out, on top of the massive amount of lawsuits, amount of lawsuits that he still is facing, on top of the lawsuits that he's still facing, and then you have this. So are they doing the hearing now? Like, is now, are they doing like, because if I'm not mistaken, let me look it up. Let me see if TMZ or anybody is covering this right now. I mean, if I'm thinking about it right, then something is, maybe it's a bond hearing. Maybe he put in for a bond reduction. Nah. Is it new charges coming? Maybe.
Your hairy, smelly balls are a problem for your wife.
Is the new charges coming? Love is love, everybody. Love is love. What is happening right now around this situation? What is happening?
Somebody saved you when you were little, so now you become the mother, and you run around trying to say,
no, you ain't talking about it. Something is definitely updating right now in this whole situation. And that's why I say it's all been crazy already. It's all been crazy already because, we're going back to the Mann Act. You got to remember what the Mann Act was. You know what I mean? This is the Mann Act. So this is the White Trafficking Act, right? So, when you're looking at this act, I want you guys to really, have the details that is surrounded around this act and how, with everything that's happening and everything that's being done, this you would have to have too many other people involved in order for him to, even get hit with this act. But I don't know. I'm not his defense team. I'm not Diddy's defense team, because if I was Diddy's defense team, I would really take a closer look at the Mann Act and what he got hit with. Because if this the case, then we got to relook at Tinder and Grinder and all these other applications that is using different forms of mail and different forms of you know telephone devices to facilitate sex. So I don't know. I'm not Diddy's defense team. I know he's got a hell of a PR team. I know he's got a hell of a PR team, public relations. So maybe they are out there analyzing other things and other forms of defense. Is this in Diddy's favor? This court hearing, we will find out. We'll find out. Right now, we're just looking at them forcing maybe an earlier sentencing time, right? Maybe right now with everything that's happening and everything that's off the table, maybe the defense is forcing it says now Tisa Tell says that Diddy sentencing hearing, judge fast tracks Diddy sentencing hearing, signals he's tired of Diddy, right? So maybe by fast tracking it, they're just going to, like I said, with a case like this, they could extend it and just do 10 on 10, right? Give them the max for each of it, 10 years on both, run it consecutive, concurrent. I'm not sure, but due to the fact that he did go to trial and he did lose in trial, they're going to penalize him to the full extent of the law, because that's one thing that they warn you about before you go to trial, right? That if you lose trial, you risk getting penalized to the full extent of the law. Now, with that being said, we don't really know the federal guidelines around this being his first offense and, everything like that, with this being his first offense, so on and so forth. So we're going to, listen in and figure out what it is that always was and always will be. The Mann Act was implemented to stop transportation white women into slavery to other countries. No, that's not why the Mann Act was implemented. You can go back and look at Jack Johnson and the history of Jack Johnson and why the Mann Act was implemented, because they wanted to keep and they thought that Jack Johnson was going to change the face of white slavery, because he was riding around marrying white women at that time and fornicating with them, and he was a boxer, and literally Trump pardoned him in 2018 for the Mann Act. You can look it up. It literally was called the White Slave or White whatever Act. You can go look it up yourself. They ain't got nothing to do with country to country. You can get out of here with talking about it says this person tried to say the Mann Act was implemented to stop transporting white women into slavery to other countries. Make that shit make sense. And the Mann Act don't got nothing to do with country to country. If you go read the Mann Act, it is talking about prostitution, right? It is just talking about making phone calls, using the phone or mail to solicit or to induce different variations of prostitution, to coerce. It has nothing to do with country. That's why I'm saying y'all rewrite history into a false idea. Y'all rewrite it into a false idea. Go look it up yourself before you. I literally just did a whole, live about the Mann Act. We went over it, looked into it, you know what I'm saying, read and heard the different variations of the parts of it that makes it what it is, right? Operating under a corporation or commercial commerce law, so on and so forth. Like, we just went over all of that. But however you want to look at it, the world is what you perceive it. If you whatever it is that you perceive it, let it be.
A little bit of it a couple years ago with the fight balls and stuff. Now there's our voices were too loud.
I want to know what did they say?
Literally.
What is it?
He didn't take the Diddy payoff.
So this judge is saying what? Like, we about to get you sentenced expeditiously.
All reflects back on Diddy.
Hold on. So what was that? Oh, so that this hearing must have been the defense must have put in for a earlier sentencing hearing, in which case they would have to appear in front of the judge, and then the judge would have to deny it. So they must have filed for a before August 29th. They was trying to get in there. They was trying to get in there.
So if you look right here, this says document 448. So this is when they originally were asking for September 22nd. Document 449, which came after that one, they're saying they wanted to go back to the original date of October.
What's up?
So it's back to October 3rd, you guys.
So they was gonna up the date, and then they changed it and put it back to October 3rd. Oh, that don't sound right. That just don't sound right. What is this? This is a secret court hearing. This is something strange, and it don't look good. Why are they doing the Jamie Foxx? Listen, if Jamie had something to say, Jamie should have came out and said it during the trial. Huh? I don't know. They're gonna have all this new stuff popping up. I think this is just a distraction. Because the president is signing shit. The president's sitting here looking like a mob boss. Y'all hear me? President sitting here looking like a mob boss and letting other people talk for him. Listen, this motherfucker is sitting here like the Godfather. Do you hear me? President Trump is sitting here like the Godfather and letting everybody else talk around him.
Of revenue for the United States. So the idea was, how do they keep their jobs, protect
And
their
this dude looked
economy,
like
and do the best for their people while opening the market for us. And the way is they studied it, their team was exceptional, and they tried to figure out the markets that they're
because if they asked the president
people,
what he got to
and try
say,
to
he
send
just
them
gonna
over
say
to
big
America.
changes,
Why were they
changes.
always favoring others and not us? And what they've done is they found ways to do that so that we have new.
Look. The president literally looked over to the side at somebody and said he's good. Because they know they selling us this shit.
Workers are protected.
That Trump looked over and said he's good.
We did a deal with them in automobiles. And you know, if you're not building here,
he literally looked over and he's good.
And by the way,
did he sell you already, President Trump?
This was the president's deal. And people think, oh, that's not the way it works. If you got to sit next to him, I have the best deal maker to my left. And if you don't think that we take advantage of him calling the prime minister and getting that deal done, you don't understand who's the president of the United States. So he's the closer.
This just sounds so.
Never get done. because he understands
Oh my
business. He
God!
understands deals.
See, that's why this
we
new
need to
age
do it.
might have it
So,
right, man. Because
do you
this is
agree?
glazing. Like the younger generation would have picked up on that ASAP and would have been like, "Damn, he glazing the shit out of them." But like our generation and the you know what I'm saying, the demographics that's for real, like the younger generation would have looked at that shit and been like, yo, he glazing, like come on with the glaze. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can see the shit that we can't see. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation would have been like, man, he glazing.
Send
He glazing.
100,000 cars into America and only pay a 10% tariff. And that protects their car industry. And remember, we do 16 million cars a year. So this is only like 0.6%. But for the UK,
Watch he glaze again.
This is tens of thousands of jobs that the president agreed that he would protect for them. So he made that deal, right? Then steel and aluminum, right? Their steel business has been destroyed like everybody else has been destroyed.
Now, I want y'all to think about this. They're talking about steel, right? Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump who literally bought steel outside of the country because it was cheaper, right? He bought cheaper steel outside of the country when it came to building his structures, building his properties, right? He used, you know, Mexican foreign help in order to build the Trump Tower, so on and so forth. And now, after he done built what he wanted to build, got what he wanted, now he's saying, we got to get rid of y'all. We got to get. And I want y'all to understand, before he became the president the first time, there was a lot of implications behind him not paying, right? There was a lot of implications. Never mind, she jumped down. She was going to try to get up on her. There was a lot of implications behind him not paying workers, right? So we looking at somebody who already knows how to skim the corners, so on and so forth. And then you looking at a situation where, you know, he's now put us in a situation because maybe this is a direction towards peace. I mean, he's kind of sitting down at the table with arch nemesis, Russ. You know what I mean? Like ever since, with everything that's always been taking place, as far back as I can remember, you know, Russia has always been America's number one, you know, enemy, right? So he's agreeing with Putin on this, right? And then maybe further down the line, you know, favor for a favor. They go by that quid pro quo method, right? So he's agreeing with Putin on this. And then was that because Putin agreed with him on a war to not get involved? Or is this opening up the door for a favor, right? Because Putin was supposed to back up Iran and their nuclear program. That was the agreement, right? So by them striking the nuclear program, so on and so forth, Putin was supposed to protect that. But Putin decided that, hey, it don't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to stay out of it. And now we're talking about China, you know, coming to some type of agreement with the traders' debt. And now you're talking about Russia coming into some type of agreement, or Trump signing some type of, you know, agreement with Russia. So here we are with two of our biggest, you know, threats at the table with China and Russia. And Trump is seemingly getting along. These are, they don't have a democracy now. They don't have a democracy, right? That's not odd to y'all. And let's go back to what Trump said during the election. He said, we rigged this up nicely. You won't have to worry about, this is your last vote, he said. That's what he said. It's the last time you have to vote. You don't have to worry about that anymore. So Christians, make sure you get out there and vote. I am not a Christian, but I implore you to get out there and vote. I remember the speech because I have that fucking problem in my head where I just remember shit word for word or as close, like, anyway. So I remember the speech. He said, get out there and vote. This is the last time you have to vote. We rigged it nicely So on and so forth, right? And then we talk about the changes that's going on with the Constitution, and how he implemented certain variations of constitutional rights that applied for the Black American slave, but all of the immigrants are getting the benefits from it. So he appeased us in saying that the people that actually own the land are foreign, and they are not allowed to own the land that they own due to the Constitution, and that land being protected under the Constitution that says that nobody that is not originated to this plane, such as the American slaves or the slaves, right? The only people that can own land is the slaves. These other people that's coming over here can't hold ownership, yet they do. So this affects the 7-Elevens, all of these immigrants that came over, bought property, and running all of these stores, Maytag, so on and so forth, right? This affects them. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but Trump has been trying to appease to the Black America, because he knows that a great shift has taken place, and we are actually supposed to be in a higher standard in life because of the amount of energy that is being poured into America at this time. Listen to what I said. I didn't say the Black people in America. You notice I didn't say the Black people in America because it has nothing to do with America, Black people, right? We are a mixing pot for a reason. Someone put this in play long time ago, way before the Americas, way before the idea of the United States that you think is the United States. This place was a mixing pot, right? People were adopted into a covenant that was already created with the Israelites at that time. They won against that, right? Imagine other continents with the plot and a ploy to go against one continent because one continent held a secret to what's inside of us, right? And until this day, we can see that energy being manipulated if you pay attention to it. It's the reason why America people is in lust, greed, gluttony. It's the reason why you show high levels of lust, greed, gluttony, and all these other things. It's because it's a manipulation of your life water. Now, if you look at the world today, you will see a high level of sexual tension. Everyone is humping something. They're selling it to you on social media. They're selling it to you everywhere. Everything is about lust, greed, controversy, entertainment, and something that is appeasing to feelings and emotions. Now, I want you to ask yourself, logically, does that make sense? No, but it's satisfying to say that it favors one's feelings and emotions, to say that I don't care. I did what felt good to me, right? And now we're in a world where everyone is doing what feels good. No one's really doing what's right. Everyone's doing what feels good. Now, I want you to think about that. If we're in that type of world, then that means someone designed it that way that we get to operate out of feelings and emotions and not logic. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Logically, it makes more sense for all of us just to do right. Just put it under the table so that way. That would make more sense. But someone put us in a false operation. And in order to get out of that false operation is going to take a collective, right? A collective of like-minded people that want to build a different nation, right? So I propose that we sign a petition. You can check it out. We put it together. You can check it out. It is considered to be the human rights of the collective, right? Because we are a collective soul. We are a collective body. We're in it together, whether you want to believe it or not, right? We are all in this together. So, click the link in the bio and check out the petition, right? Click the link in the bio. Check out the petition. If you're on YouTube, click the more thing, and you'll see the link to the petition there. If you're on TikTok, click the bio, click the link tree. It's at the top of the link tree, right? We need as many signatures on this as possible, right? Hopefully, with enough signatures, maybe we can get in touch with Dolores Cannon and try to get some type of level of learning, understanding, and it has to be free, because knowledge is free, right? So I understand that there's universities out there that's trying to make you pay for spirituality, but spirituality is not meant to be sold. It's meant to be told. It's one of those things that you can't sell it, right? And in order to keep it, you got to give it away, So when you're talking about spirituality, the only way you can grow in spirituality is to teach other people and help them grow within spirituality. That's how thrust is built up under the wings of a spiritual person, right? So with all this being said, I want to say welcome to the new world, right? There's a new awakening taking place. Everybody's feeling it. Everybody's a part of it. Yes, you might not understand what way to love. You might not understand what is the actual meaning of love, but everyone is being pushed into a more loving version of themselves. Shout out to everybody that's black sheep of the family that kept on going through stuff, but you stuck it out, still believing that this world was good. Shout out to you. Without you, none of this is possible, right? Your ability to see past the bullshit and still say, this is a good person, it is actually affecting this world, right? And no matter how much cruelty you saw in this world, you still believe that it was good in this world. You still search for good in this world, right? So shout out to you for doing that. No matter how much people threw at you, no matter how many times people tore you down, you were still trying to be and make the best of everything. And people were mad at your happiness, right? People used to see you smiling. What you smiling for? What you happy about? I don't know what you so happy about, right? It was you. It was you that made it possible for us to move into a 5D verse, because you kept the faith. You kept the faith. And it might have been faith like a mustard seed, but the universe has now responded to that faith like a mustard seed. And the universe is sending all types of photonic energies, all types of, loving energies down here through these solar flares. So every day you wake up, you're waking up in a newer version of yourself, moving closer towards forgiveness, moving closer towards letting certain things go. And that includes people, places, and things. Sometimes the courage has to be built up to let go certain things. And sometimes you have to ask the universe for that courage, right? And sometimes you have to say, universe, if this is not for me, give me the courage to let it go, right? And if it's for me, let things work out how it's supposed to work out, right? And the universe will move things for you and put things in your way. And some of the people that's in your way, they might be coming with a certain variation, but trouble don't last always, and everybody's not meant for everybody, but people are not meant to stay in your life forever. I want you guys to know that people are not meant to stay in your life forever. Listen to the word that I used. I use people. People are not meant to stay in your life forever. Here's why. People is broken down from the Latin word persona. Persona is a mass, right? The people are not meant to stay in your life, but the energies that they give you, the way they make you feel, that will carry forever. Forever. That's why people say, make your first impression your best impression, right? Because people, you don't remember people. You remember how they made you feel, right? You remember them for their character. You remember them for certain things like that. Now, you might not remember the person. Think about it. When people pass away, sometimes you forget what their face looked like, but you remember what they made you feel like. You remember what they made you feel like. You remember, the story, so on and so forth. So a lot of times you held on to the person when you should have been holding on to how that person made you feel. Right? And sometimes you don't need to stay around somebody. You just want to be around somebody that you can stand being around. right? Because a lot of times, look, you can't stand being around a lot of people, but you force. There's a lot of y'all taking deep breaths to go in y'all house to deal with y'all own kids because you can't stand being around them. There's a lot of y'all taking deep breaths to go, lay in the bed because you can't be around. Like, you just want somebody in your life that you can stand being around. Fuck it. Even if they in a whole nother room, they there. You ain't got to be in the same house with me. Just, I know you in another room. You know I'm here. I know you there. That's good enough for me. I take the simple things. It's the simple things in life. When you find gratification in the simple things in life, the universe bless you with an abundance of knowledge. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I literally watched a multitude of people steal my ideas, and I'm grateful that they steal my ideas, because what's an idea not worth stealing? Huh? Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you for a second. When somebody steals your intellectual properties, you should be thankful that they stole it, because that means you had a good idea. And somebody stealing your ideas, somebody stealing pieces of you, you should smile a little bit more inside, because that means you was worth stealing, right? I never really thought about it because I don't have materialistic things that I hold on to, because I gave that up a long time ago after a couple of Hot Wheels got stolen, or, whatever the case may be, G.I. Joe's. It was actually my Teddy Ruxpin, but I ain't going to get on that story. All right. Now, I value certain variations of things and people, characteristic traits, the way you carry yourself, a forgiving heart, right? These are the things that I look at in people. I don't care about your car. Those shits is going to come and go, right? I don't care about, I value what is inside of people. I value what's inside of people, right? You can put all the nice things you want around you, but if it comes with a stank ass attitude, who wants to be around it? Huh? You can put all the great things you want around you, but if you ain't got nobody to share it with, you corny as hell. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people want to put shit around them just to show off. Look at what I got. So you got that shit by yourself. Ain't nobody having fun with you. You know what I'm saying? It's the company. When you got good energy, people want to be around you. They don't give a fuck if you broke or not. They just like, man, I'm going to chill around him. I know he going to make me laugh. I know he going to say something. That's where a lot of these people failing at. A lot of these people is failing because you can see what they doing. Look at what they doing, the variations of what they doing. They ain't people persons. They ain't people. You know what I'm saying? They faking the funk. Jaguar and them faking the funk. That's why she can't go to no concerts. That's why she not drawing the crowd to her in the person. She's not a real people's person. You know what I'm saying? She fake like she the life of the party. But if she was the life of the party, she would have land somewhere and people will be coming to her. She will be building a whole nation right now. She can't do that. They're not people persons. They mean, they're volatile. When they walk around, they criticizing, talking shit about people. Oh, look at this person's house, and look at this person's that, and look at this, and this person that, and that person think this, and da, 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 da. That's all they walking around doing. Misery. Misery loves company type shit. That's why they can't be around people, because it's only so long they can fake. They got to go into character. They put themselves into character, and then they sit there after they put themselves into character. Then they put themselves there and they try to say, this is the character that I got to fit, right? So they're faking like they get along. They faking like they nice. They faking that stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you looking at it, however you looking at it, this is a repeated thing that they're doing. They're faking. You got to think about it. Some people will go from one moment where they're talking about, oh yeah, I'm in Dubai and my Dubai friends and my money long, and I can't get in touch with my this, and I can't get in touch with that, right? And then come to find out, I mean, you can see it. You can see everybody getting their karma. You know what I'm saying? They faking. That's why I told myself, I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna be as genuine as possible. Yes, I'm still gonna inspire for greater dreams. Yes, I'm still gonna try to, make the best of everything. Yes, I'm still gonna have dreams and ambitions, but I'm not gonna deny the reality that we live in. I'm not gonna deny that there's not really good people out here in the world, because that's why you gotta have discernment. There's too many people. That's why they're teaching us not to pay attention to these monsters. That's why the internet is suppressing pages like mine that are pointing out these monsters, because they don't want you to pay attention to them. Because if they wanted you to pay attention to them, they will be, happy that someone's pointing them out. These different variations of demonic entities that stay inside the vessels of mankind, right? But obviously they want this because it benefits them better in a victimizing world. It benefits both sides of whoever benefiting from it, right? You heard them, I come along, help them, both of us make bank, right? Both of us become whatever we want in this materialistic world in the matter of doing so, right? So this is now you just paddling back and forth between feelings, these different variations of feelings and emotions. And now it's bigger now. It's bigger because collectively you got a bunch of people that's just going from one trauma bond to the next trauma bond. Everybody's conditioned into trauma bonding. Somebody come up right now, you'll start a conversation with them, and you know what they'll say? Shoot, my such and such just passed away the other week. I guarantee you, the 3 minutes into talking to somebody, I guarantee you they gonna tell you some trouble and shit. That shit is like mandatory in conversation now that somebody say some trouble and shit.
Like a toy. Here's how to use it smart. It's 2025.
I'm trying to tell you, now. I'm trying to tell you, like, they making it so like they gotta find a different method to bring in currency. Like, even if you look at technology, they're not the marketing. They don't have the marketing on technology right now. So America got to find their way in. America got to find a split. America got to find a way to that money. America got to do that. So America ain't got high levels of trade going on. There ain't nobody trying to buy America. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when you go to other countries, you see made in America all over the place. We're not a distribution company. And when I mean company, is mean country too, because the corporation that is the US is what we were sold to during whatever it is that we are now under, which is the District of Columbia, right? So when they created this,
You like to talk a lot of smack. You spy and lie, you boast, always gotta do the most behind my back. When you're faced with all the facts, you switch right up, you don't remember all of that. Showing off like you're in a pageant, bragging on about your status. Little do they know there's a real dark method to your madness. All the hate you brew inside, tragic. From a monster to the victim, play the role so well, dramatic. Is that it? Moving on, now it's time for me to work, wave my magic wand. You're no match for me or the power of my tongue. Let me show you how it's done. I can too terrorize you for fun. Demon be gone. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give you nothing, watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist, it's always your way, it's your lane. Doesn't matter what I try to say, decline. You want what's mine, try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. You always wanna start a fight. No rules, never can you lose, no clue to why you always gotta be right. Tell me why you're so uptight, if it's all for show. Gotta let shit flow, gotta let shit go. Can't dwell on it your whole life. Get back, I don't want your static, nothing but a drama addict. Those repeated cycles, I have studied all your habits, but the way you stare at me, you savage. Try to pawn your pain on me, return to sender with that.
Bruce Lee say, be water, right? Water can crash or water can flow, right? So when you're trying to, you're really just realizing like you just can go with the flow. That's it. Everything's not going to go your way on that flow, right? So you go with it, right? Everybody don't go with the flow. Some people like the crash. It's exciting to them. You know what I mean? It's like you got some people that want to surf the wave, right? And then you got some people that want to ride the wave, right? Riding the wave and surfing the wave is two different things, right? It's mindset, right? So when you got somebody who understands how this world works, then that's what you want to make sure that the energy around you is protected. This is how you build sanctuaries, right? This is how you build a place. A church is not based off of oh, this church is a holy place because such and such and such and such. No, this church is a holy place because people choose not to put lower vibrations in that place, right? A church is not a place that you constantly going to put out these vibrations that's in, words. A church is a place that you going to praise, worship. Same thing, sanctuary. If you build in a home, whatever it is, you want to keep lower vibrations out of your home. You want to keep, you know what I'm saying? So you don't even invite certain variations of conversations in the house because you don't want those conversations to build that negative frequency, right? But when you got people around you that is so used to that, they're going to speak that frequency into the atmosphere. They're going to speak it into the atmosphere. Now you can keep on trying to, as a vessel, you can keep on trying. Like I fight that energy that's in this atmosphere all the time. You get what I'm saying? That's why I keep on saying, like, can I get more people around me that's trying to fight the energy that's existing, right? Because if 10 people are in a household and 7 of them are walking around with negative energy, guess what's going to happen for that household? It don't give a fuck about the 3 people that's walking around and trying to, you know what I'm saying, skip to my loo. It don't matter. The negative outweighs them. So therefore, they're going to get hit with the negative that's coming to that household. You get what I'm saying? So if we already got walking around, in misery, sadness, now you got misery and sadness. That's the energy that's building up, right? Now you got jealousy building up. Right now, over here, you will have envy. You know what I'm saying? You will have also jealousy building up, and you will have like this hate, like this level of hatred building up, right? So if every vessel around you is all building up lower vibrational energies, right? You're their karma is sticking to you. This is why the Bible told Joseph to be worried when he was in that prison, right? Be careful of the company that you keep, because their karma can become you. Their sins, their ways can become of you, right? So you have to try to stay around positive energy. This is why you move, collective, never wear out your welcome, because it's the energy, right? So if you always moving where good energy is going, you're flowing, right? You're flowing wherever the energy is taking, you're flowing with that energy, right? But everybody crash. You get what I'm saying? Now, people do build up, you know, certain things do build up. Like certain people do build up energy inside of them, but you need an outlet. So that energy got to go somewhere. That's why they change anger management to managing anger, right? Because you have to realize it's an energy and it's going to exist. When you do anger management, it's saying that, you know, you can get rid of it. You can't. When you manage your anger, it's accepting that it's always there. You know what I mean? When you accept that it's always there, you could deal with it differently, as opposed to thinking that it's something that you can get rid of. See, a lot of people try to deny the fact that negative or bad is inside of them. So they try to make it seem like I'm good. No, you're not good. You're denying the fact that you possess a lower vibrational energy that can possibly make your ass do some shit that you really, you know what I mean? Because if somebody do something to your kid, oh, I'll fuck some shit up. I thought you said you was good. Those two things don't go together. So now you accept that there is a level of darkness inside of you, and then you manage that darkness. You get what I'm saying? So like a lot of people can't deal with the shadows. A lot of people can't deal with the shadows because they don't accept that the shadows is them. So a lot of people in their dreams, they feel like something's chasing them, or they feel like a darkness is there, right? So they fight a darkness that's there. So a lot of people say, I see a shadow, I see this, right? But when you accept that everything is yours and you are everything, then that darkness is you. And you're really just running from yourself. So your dream state changes once you accept that you are that darkness and that darkness is you. Your whole dream state changes. Now, dreams are not dreams. There are different avenues of ways that the timeline can go. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you say your fears is what's stopping you, right? But in your dreams, you conquer your fears, right? Isn't only a matter of time before that trickle into your reality and you show a reflection of that fearlessness? Do you get what I'm saying? Because if I master my dreams, right? If I master my dreams, if I become the master of my dreams, right? Nothing's stopping me in my dreams, right? So how much will that affect your reality if nothing's stopping you in your dreams?
I mean, you start to believe that you can do those things, and then that reality comes into your existence.
Instead of being a I can't, this ain't for me, or you know what I'm saying, I'm waiting for you. Not only change like the saying that I can't to a I can, you also change the why me to a why not me, which also changes the hero savior complex with is inside of us. And this is just all from changing the way you dream. It changes the way when you battle with inside yourself in your dreams and you master your dreams, this changes that hero savior complex. Now you don't sit there and say one person can't change the world, one person can't do nothing. You look at it and say one person can do it. One person can do it. And the reason why you say one person can do it, because we already have an example of one person that did it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you start to really, you know, better yourself on the inside, you become a reflection of that on the outside. And it's the same thing Christ's been saying. Christ says that, you know, when you find a way on the inside, a way on the outside will always reveal itself to you. But you have to look within first. Nothing starts without that initiation within, right? Think about it like this. Right now, if a job was to call and say you're fired, right? Right then and there, you have a couple choices to make. First, you're going to find out why, so on and so forth, whatever the case may be, right? But you're going to put yourself in the operation to do what? Find another job. Make it, right? It's natural to survive, right? Now, think about this. I always live my life with the concept of saying, listen, if I lose this job, I'm going to be at the same place I was when I had this job, looking for a job. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people hold on to the jobs that they have out of fear. Fear of not making it, fear of letting somebody down, fear of doing this, fear of that, out of fear. So we are subject to stay within the mindsets that we are in because someone put a notion on us that says if you step out of that mindset, this is what's happening. So you stay within that mindset. It's constructed that way. Social engineering, everything is constructed. Think about it. You can walk up to somebody right now and you say, how are you today? That person will say, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you? You would then reply, I'm fine. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? And then they probably reply, yes, it is a beautiful day. Not like all those other days. The weather's unpredictable. That is so fucking designed. It is designed. Let's be honest. When somebody say, how are you? Nobody's fine. Nobody's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the mindset, you know, you probably got problems of your own. You don't want to hear mine. I'm going to keep my problems to myself and just say I'm fine. So we are programmed to lie to each other. Somebody say, how you doing? I don't think you want to know. That's closer to the truth than I'm fine.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if we was in an ideal world where everything was going good and you was around the right collective, I could see people running around jolly and shit like that. But as long as our kids out there shaking their ass, coming up missing and all of that dumb shit, how the fuck is anybody fine?
Right.
How that mean we lying to each other? I'm not fine. I'm worried. I'm cautious. Things ain't going right. They not teaching our kids what they supposed to teach our kids. Nobody is fine. And everybody's crying for help and nobody knows how to help. And then the people that do know how to help by saying let's unify and let's do this, y'all like, oh man, fuck you. We ain't trying to hear that shit. You just trying to grow your page. You just trying to, they won't even give it a chance. How we gonna change? That's why I say, like, I need to reach like a real, like somebody that's higher. If I consider, if I can get on a couple of podcasts with Dolores Cannon or pull Dolores Cannon, oh, then everybody start listening to me. Then, is she still alive? Well, maybe I need to talk to her in spirit. That's easier because then I know her location. Don't say that. Dolores Cannon is not gone. I just seen a video of her the other day.
Yeah, she did in 2014.
What?
Yeah, she's got an estate that's continuing to grow because
What? I just talked to her. What the fuck? I just talked to Dolores Cannon. She is not gone.
you talked to her media team, I guess. It says she was 83 on October 18th, 2014, when she passed in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Yeah. There's...
But we might be able to talk to Julia Cannon, who maybe her sister.
This is crazy. I just talked to her. Is this? Hold on, man. Y'all done shifted realities again. Cause I talked to Dolores Cannon.
We want to know what's crazy. I think this is her daughter because their last name's Cannon. Dolores Cannon's daughter. She has a page called Soul Speak.
You don't think you should reach out?
I do.
I listen, I'm trying to get a whole new spiritual university going that is free. You know what I mean? PDF file, all of that good stuff. I'm trying to get a whole new. I don't know what y'all doing. I can't say, but over here at the Atlas family, we're striving for something greater. We're shooting for, we could still show levels of entertainment, excitement, all of that stuff, but I think we can push towards, a greater, front. I think we can push towards something greater, I think collectively we owe it to ourselves. I think with everything that's happening in this world, I think we owe it to ourselves. And even the changes that are taking place right now, I think we owe it to ourselves to give us a better chance of uniting. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I got some other stuff in play. I got a bunch of stuff going on right now. Powwow, what's going on with you? Powwow, you ain't tell me your brother was Jesse Powell's. You ain't tell me your brother was Jesse Powell's. Powwow. That's crazy that you ain't tell me that your brother was. And baby is. You ain't tell nobody that shit. Huh? Nah, you ain't tell nobody. You did not tell nobody your brother was. Next year, let's call this day our anniversary. You ain't say no. You ain't say shit. Your ass lying. You ain't say that. That used to be that jam back in the day. You know what? We need to put together a email that just like it's like a standard email that we copy and paste and send out to a multitude of people and just send it out to a bunch of different people and put together a panel, with some of the, you know what I mean? And we gotta make sure we tell them it's free time. I ain't got no. I want to. Wait till I hear who your cousin is. Powwow, you would never believe. I'm gonna say this, and I want you to know that it's a joke before I say it. Okay? How the fuck is you stuttering in the comment section? Like, how the fuck is you managing to stutter in the comment section? How'd you pull that off? How the fuck is you stuttering in the comment section? Huh? I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, new updates. Hopefully, I think they still gonna do the trial in October. I think they still doing that Diddy trial in October. But they did rush him into court for something. I wonder what that was about, though. Nah, I fuck with Powwow. I fuck with Powwow. I'm gonna put the what you call him so you can come back up and get. I'm you can come up and get your. I fuck with Powwow. I don't care what nobody say. I don't know if y'all have like conventions or something. I don't know if y'all have like a stutter group, but you know what I'm saying. But I don't know if y'all got a stutter group, but you might want to use that on somebody else in the stutter group. You know what I'm saying? Like you stutter so much, you text stutter, you DM stutter. I don't know if you can use that. I don't know if y'all got stutter, but listen, y'all on there right now. You know what I'm saying? Because all you got to do is ride around and bump that new Kevin Gates song that I stutter. Like that's all you got to do is ride around bumping that shit. You know what I'm saying? You right. I don't buy no apples. I bite into tomatoes. I need soft shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? A butt cheek, a titty. I bite into soft stuff. My teeth ain't what they used to be. But if you force me to, I'll put these teeth on something. You know what I'm saying? Close range combat. They teach you a lot of stuff with close range combat. You know what I'm saying? It only takes 15 pounds of downward pressure to rip, appendages off. So you go figure. You know what I mean? What? If it come down to it, I'm biting shit. I need them to know. I need I need I need them to know. Sometimes they can only identify you by your dental records, So once I put these teeth on you, for sure, they gonna know. If it bite a shoulder, a back, wherever these teeth mark land, they gonna know. Yup, they was his teeth. You ain't even gonna need no type of autopsy. Ain't nobody gonna need to get no records out. Soon as you see the uniqueness of the bite, you're gonna be like, yep, that was him. Power, you better cut it out. That's shit. That's probably the first thing that you have to learn when you could stutter, right? Is help. Powwow said, I can yell help without stuttering. I said, that's probably the first thing you have to learn is help. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm too quick with this, man. I'm too quick with this. I'm too quick with this. Yeah, so if y'all get a chance, make sure y'all go sign the petition. Look, Diddy is however we look at this, is he fried. He is fried. The judge is tired of him. How many times did he already put in for, different paperwork? He done lost how many lawyers already? His lawyers done, you know what I'm saying, turned around a couple of times already. So they tired of him. Like literally, there's a lot of tired of him going around. And it ain't gonna get no better. Damn, it's a lot going on. They holding a meeting for hearing exposing over Biden cover-up allegations, Dems boycott GPO. Man, there's a lot going on. And the death tolls in Texas reached over 100. Still rescue units out there trying to figure out what's going on in Texas. A lot of stuff still going on around that. No, I haven't confirmed it. It does go back to um, a case that was in 1908. It goes back to a case that was in 1908, but I haven't seen pictures of the person that it was talking about in that case that started it all. And think about it, in 1910, the Mann Act was put in place in 1910. So the Mann Act was put in place in 1910. There was a case that was held in 1913 for the Mann Act. And then you had Joe Jackson come along in like 1924 or something as the world champion. And but he didn't get hit with the Mann Act. Let me say, because Trump pardoned him. 2018, Trump pardoned Jack Johnson for the Mann Act. So he was wanted. He was wanted the whole time. He unalived in a car accident. So they never got to like go to court or face justice for it. So he was like wanted for the Mann Act because he had one on the run with the championship belt and stuff like that. And then he did the whole Great White Hope thing or whatever. The movie The Great White Hope was played after them running around after Joe Jack. And he took boats and stuff to London and stuff like that and fought over there and beat ass and all types of stuff. That's why I think that hearing was to try to get either this, I don't know, this hearing could be one of two things, This hearing could have been a sentencing hearing or an update on the sentencing hearing, or this could have been them, stepping in front of the court to you know, implement something else. You know what I mean? Could be that. They could be implementing something else into the equation. Not sure yet. Not sure. We will have to find out. Stay tuned on the next Keeping Up with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, damn, we was hoping or expecting not to hear nothing until what, the 30th? I mean, October 3rd. So now they saying like, I don't see this being I don't see this being the case, but they saying now that possibly he what the hearing was about was basically um them wanting to push it up and then them pushing it back down to the 3rd. But they could be trying to get it out the way today. The judge might be trying to get it out the way today. Like, all right, you know what I mean? Just because he don't want to deal with it. October might be a different type of month. We already got people complaining about this tariff that Trump's putting in play, right? So they saying this could be something that's bad for Diddy, but I'm waiting for like the official outcome of it now, of whatever it is. Triggs, what's going on with you? I see you popping in and popping out. Y'all don't be trying to run no real games. I be trying to run, I be trying to build a whole team. I be trying to build a team and shit. Find out what time we gonna stream and build content and build a good, team. I got it though. I'm gonna find some young scrappers that ain't got shit to do. I don't know. To me, this is just, keeping him in the light. You know what I mean? And they can say like this is over with for Diddy, like as far as businesses goes, anything of that stature goes, a lot of this stuff is over with for Diddy. You know what I mean? Because of the measure or magnitude of what it is, right? Diddy bombshell leak prison information held as a hero. And where is all of the content creators that's supposed to be keeping us posted on this stuff?
They'll ban each
Mm.
other. The ban more.
TMZ said, fuck that. You gonna watch these commercials.
I'm
What?
in the other one if you want.
That wasn't it.
I'm an airbender. I was an airbender. There's a meme I found where it's the thing that I had was water, air, fire, or fire, air, water, earth.
Okay. Sorry. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Oh, let me use this one. I said that already. I said that they was going to be bringing more charges. I already said that. That's why the judge dropped it already, because they had to reevaluate it, relook at it, and say, okay, you know what I mean? Because when you're looking at the Mann Act and you're looking at the multitudes of accounts that could be given for that, right? Then you actually looking at like 5 or 6 or 7 counts of the Mann Act. And depending on how many people they can get to step forward, you can actually tax on, a multitude of numbers for this, depending on. See, one thing about the feds is this, right? The feds can say that they did a 3-year, backtrack of Diddy and the operation of these parties and so on and so forth. And he had excess amount of parties. So that means every party that he had, though, every freak off that he had can count as one count of the Mann Act. And then all the people that might have been participating, that is a separate individual count of the Mann Act, if you really study the Mann Act. So that's why I say either the Mann Act need to be revived, because I promise you, if you really look at the Mann Act, and due to the fact that, they have this idea of a time period that Diddy was doing this, going back to the 90s, however far they want to go back, I guess, right? There is a history of that, right? So if I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe but I looked at the Mann Act up and down, and yeah, yeah. So I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more coming out. And there, Krishan Rock getting her name back into the situation. They say that the video leaked of her being on that big Diddy bed, and the things that she did, and yeah. A lot of this stuff is starting to make sense now. The way they pick and choose, the way that certain people could do whatever they want, it's starting to make sense now. The reason why Blueface brother told him, "You better not deny that baby." Yeah. It's all starting to make sense now. All of it is starting to make sense now. We got a lot of stuff. Lot of stuff. This is now I say this because when I say this, I want y'all to understand that, you know, all of this is like, you know, a ritual, if you ask me. All of this is a ritual because, you know, under the understanding of whatever it is that was, right? We got to look into the parameters of the Mann Act. We're not really taking into consideration what this act really implies or what it does. That's why I say the feds is about to have a lot more cases. You know what I'm saying? If you ever been flued out, if you ever been flued out or talked about fluding somebody out, yeah, gonna be a lot more cases. That mean anybody that's subject to get picked up for this shit. Based off of what I'm seeing. See, I was hoping that we get some type of results today. Something, tell us something. I know some new charges is coming. That's why the judge was like, nope. The 3rd, October the 3rd. See, Diddy and them keep on pushing paperwork because that's what it is. You push a bunch of paperwork, you know? That's what you do. You push a bunch of paperwork through the court system, you know? Judge like, nope, denied. Yeah.
Back to a freak off. So where does this come up?
With Jules. Say
That's why I say I remember Diddy warning everybody in the game, he better stay away from Superhead. They was telling everything. You know? Forever. Forever. You know what I'm saying? Anybody flew something out better be cautious now. If you're on these phones and you talking about fluing out and you out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, you better be cautious. Better be cautious. I'm just saying. Cause right about now, you know, you gotta think about it. You got Ray J out here. He ain't being investigated yet for that agency and that Boys and Girls Club. He ain't get hit with the Mann Act yet for that agency and that Boys and Girls Club. Come on. Come on. He ain't get looked at for that yet. I'm just saying. There's a lot going on right now, people. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Well, let's see how this outcome comes out. I gotta go pay attention to this U.S. Senate.
Package and trash it. Moving on. Now it's time for me to work. Wave my magic wand. No more dragging me through the dirt. Teach you right from wrong. Run you like a marathon. Once that truth turns to karma, you're done. Demon, be gone. You're a narcissist. Can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas, and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist. A reaction is your aim. I'll just give it nothing. Watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist. It's always your way. It's your lane. Doesn't matter what I try to say. Defined. You want what's mine. Try to bring me down. Try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. Try to take my soul, try to switch them roles. That destiny swapping, mocking, blocking shit. It's a no-go, all that ego doesn't fit. Only care for the glam, only care for the glitz. Way too grubby, but you wanna give gifts. Indian giver on a power trip. Acting like you rich. All the money in the world wouldn't change your attitude. Love bomb if you want, won't change my point of view on you. As you laugh and you flaunt, take your exit too. You're no match for the highest with authority over you. True. Now back to the money. Say you built the hive, forcing me the honey. Don't wanna be exposed, so you're acting all chummy. No one is around, now you wanna act funny. Bummy, pick a personality, many burn bridges. Friendship fatality, you see it one way. I see duality like calories, burn away them dark principalities. You're a narcissist.